Seeing color in new light. How to make urban sketches that sings. Let's go! We are now down to the last of the 7 ingredients for urban sketching. I've covered the rest of it. We've covered space, line, shape, value, texture, and form. So now for the final one, color. And honestly, I have been scratching my head over this one because color is just amazing, but it is complicated, and I could feel lots and lots of theories and content and so on and so forth. But I wanted to just talk about one thing. So I cracked my head to say, what is the one thing if in this series we simplify it, boil it down to the essence? What is the one thing I want to talk about? Colors. Is it color theory? Well, color theory will be interesting, right? Because it has so much content that I can cover. It can probably fill about an hour, maybe. No, that's not it. Maybe it's about setting up your palette. But hang on, I've already done a video on that. The link is right here. No, it's not about setting up your palette, although that's interesting. What about color wheel, hues, and color scheme? And I think I'll be covering those in future videos about colors, but they're kind of secondary to what I want to talk about. They are not the primary essence that I'm boiling it down. When I boil it down to the essence, all these are kind of like secondary. Maybe it's about the values of color. Oh, that one is important. But anyway, I've already spoken about that in another video. Again, it didn't quite make to the top of the pile. I know, maybe it's about the warm and cool of colors. Yes. Hang on, warm and cool of color. Well, it is very, very important, yes, but again, didn't quite make it to the final list. Saturation? Maybe it's about saturation. Well, saturation is about the intensity or purity of the hue or color. When the color is fully saturated, the color is considered to be in its purest version or form. No. So after much deliberation with myself and thinking about it for about 2 months, I finally come to this. It is about seeing light represented by colors. I'm gonna have to unpack this because this is complicated, and if I succeed, you will see colors in new light. No pun intended. Let's backtrack a little bit. You know how urban sketches are supposed to see from direct observation. We start here. And one of the things that I want you to be getting away from this video is that you are not painting color. You are not painting color. You are painting light. You are painting what you see. You are painting light that reaches your eyes. If there's no light, this is what you will see. You will see faint color, and it's just gonna be black and white almost. Well, let's take another photograph. Without light, that is what you see. It's all grayed out. But with light, you see a little bit more of the red, the blood, and a little bit more of the yellow, and so on and so forth. Well, here's the thing. If you paint light, you have to paint shadows. They come in pair. You have to learn to see shadows. You have to learn to see colors in shadow. Okay, let's talk about this photograph as an example. And we zoom in to this part of the strawberry. Zooming in a little bit more, you see the red on the top left versus the shadow red on the bottom right. You don't understand what I'm saying? Well, let me try again. Well, let's take this and let's just make it into 2 tones. You see the light and the shadow version of the strawberry? Do you see it? So do you see it? Years ago, when I understood this principle of light in the form of the colors you paint, it changed the way I look at the world, and it changed the way I sketch as an urban sketcher. And I want to change the way you look at the world and the way you sketch and paint as well, so that you can improve as a sketcher. I've gone through a lot of pain in learning about color theory and all the rest of it, but if I were to make you understand this one thing about color, it will change the way you sketch and see the world. So let's do this one more time with this lemon. Alright, so you look at this photograph where zoom in, the yellow that is bright and the yellow in the shadow. So now in your sketch, you can approximate the light and the shadow thus. Of course, the edges between the two shapes needs to be softened up, just like in reality or what you see, but you get the idea. You must first be able to see the color as it is in the light and in the shadow. Well, don't trust me. Let's look at what the masters, well, Seurat in this case, famous painting. Let's see what he does with exactly the same, understanding. The color he used for the top of the two ladies, exactly the same. One in the light, one in the shadow. Or between the two patch of grass, one in the light, one in the shadow. You get the idea? That is why this concept of painting light is the most important thing about color. There is no greater understanding. If you can understand this, that's it. Oh well, not quite. But at least you see it, and now you can learn how to simulate it with your palette, your colors, and your sketches. So let me take you to my own example. In 2019, I wanted to paint a light up or lit bird of paradise flower using the concept of painting light. But of course, it's about mixing colors so that I'm painting light. There are other things that bake into this, but the essential element of recipe that I was using for this painting is just what I've gone through. It is the understanding of color to paint light. And you can see it in the mixture of the yellow, the reds, the green to create the effects of light on a piece of watercolor paper. So the one thing that I wanted you to know is to be able to see light represented by colors. Well, in other words, you can use colors to paint light. How cool is that? So that's it. That brings us to the conclusion of our 7 ingredients for urban sketching. Which is essentially stolen from the 7 elements of design. I hope you have enjoyed this series and gained something out of it. Well, I will go on to the principle of design at some point in the future, but maybe I'll take a rest for now from this pretty serious stuff and go back to my fun sketch in my videos to come. So stay safe wherever you are. I hope you enjoyed this. Peace out.